What's up, Falcon fans? This is the recap video where we discuss about what happened to the Atlanta Falcons. If you guys like this type of content, hit that like button. If you guys hate this type of content, hit that dislike button, or we'll hurt your boy's feelings. We'll maybe just a little bit. But also, if you want to do a huge favor for your boy, by hitting that subscribe button, it will help out the Empire grow tremendously. So on that note, let's talk about the good, the bad, and the Falcons. So let's start out with the good. I thought the Atlanta Falcons defense did a really good job in maintaining Trevor Lawrence's passing yardage, for him to only get 207 yards and 1 touchdown. Besides that one blown coverage by A.J. Terrell for a 30-yard bomb touchdown that kind of hurt us in the very beginning. But besides that, I thought they did a really good job in, containing Travis Etienne Jr., only picking up 55 total rushing yards, and the defense getting quarterback hits as well, where they collect 7 in total and sacked him twice. So I thought that was pretty well good pressure. So when it comes to the offensive side of the ball, I want to give my credits to Jonnu Smith for doing a really great job. He was targeted 6 times. He caught 6 receptions for a grand total of 95 receiving yards. His longest were 33. I thought he did a really good job in getting those really tight end windows catches from Desmond Ridder. I want to, give credit where credit's due when it comes to the offensive line and rushing the ball on the right side, because that's where they did the most damage when Bijan Robinson had 14 carries for a grand total of 105 rushing yards. And Bijan Robinson was targeted 5 times, caught all of his 5 receptions for a grand total of 32 receiving yards. So I thought the young rookie did a really fantastic job getting everything that was thrown to him, getting everything that he needed to do to try to help this team win for the young man when they were calling up his name, number 7. So on that note, let's talk about the bad. So let's talk about Desmond Ridder, because I feel like that's the most eye-popping thing for the Atlanta Falcons fandom right here. Now, for me, it doesn't look good for your boy Desmond Ridder. We can, praise him. We can, give him all the excuses, or we can completely shut him down and have Tyler Heineke, take over against the Houston Texans. I will give it the benefit of the doubt. We have to wait at least after the Tampa Bay Buccaneers until we officially shut him down, right? Now, it doesn't help when your offensive line still gives up 4 sacks. And 3 sacks is to one guy who is just a beast. And Josh Allen, 3 sacks, 2 tackles for losses, a forced fumble at the very end, just like the Detroit Lions game. It is so frustrating to see that, this time I will blame a little bit on Desmond Ridder. Because last time I didn't. I defended him. But I will say that, when he threw the ball, it was into tight coverages, not wide open spaces, right? Where the corners, the safety, did a lot of pass breakups. I think they had 9 in total. So that just tells you that, they read what Desmond Ridder was reading. So you can either blame Arthur Smith or whoever, the offensive coordinator for this team, or just the trust or the timing. And it's just, I get it. Desmond Ridder might be the guy in the future, but he's surely not trash. Because if he was trash, he would have gave up 5 interceptions, barely 100 yards, no touchdowns. And so there's the fine line of whose fault to blame. Because we can literally, cherry pick everybody else, right? The offensive line did not help him at all. He got hit, 7 times, where it does affect you after a while. And, your confidence level kind of gets depleted, especially when you throw those really gnarly picks where it wasn't good. Those were the game changers. And, you got to give it to the safety, and then to the corner. And then, it just, and sometimes you could have a bad game. Believe me, they are not 100%, robots. They're humans. They're always going to have good games, bad games, and normal games and mediocre games. It just happened for Desmond Ridder's case. This was a not so nice game for him. Remember, when Matt Ryan threw those 5 interceptions against the Arizona Cardinals, or was it the Oakland Raiders at the time? I can't quite remember. But I surely remember a lot of people probably didn't say, let's bench Matt Ryan. You know what I'm saying, you guys? But the internet has so much power over us, where we can just say everything we want and think is either, a good take, bad take, or I don't know. It's just something about, having that thing on our thumbs and the phones, and we're all experts. I'm getting out of, what I want to say, but it's just something that kind of nags me. That's why I don't go on Twitter. That's why I try not to look at those comments, because it kind of pisses me off. But you know what really is the problem here? It's, you know, it's third down, you know, efficiency. I know I butchered that word up, my dyslexic ass. But you know, when the Falcons go 6-12, it's not going to help the Atlanta Falcons move the chain. You know, especially if we're trying to run the team or run the ball. Maybe we are running the team down the drain. I don't know. But you know what? You know, hey, passing first downs, we got 11 of those out of the 17 first downs conversions. I mean, that says something there. Now, the play calling still is a problem for me personally. I get it the first time, you know, when you're in the 5 or 2 yard line. I get it. You know, you don't want to, you know, make a, you know, a terrible place where they might get the ball, you know, in your 20 or 30 yard line or even a touchdown. It kind of really doesn't matter at that point, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, the penalties, you know, this time we cleaned up the penalties from last game. We only got 3 penalties, so it wasn't that bad. But still, I think the biggest problem, as we see until we're going on to the future, is the lack of passing plays, creativity plays. You know, the play action works so well with Matt Ryan, and sometimes with Marcus Mariota, not always, but the question is, why is it not working for Desmond Ridder? No, is it timing? Is it just the trust? Is it just, you know, Desmond Ridder hesitating? Sometimes he makes some really beautiful throws. We've seen it, you know, against the Panthers, you know, the Packers, even in the Detroit Lions games. At the end of the day, it's all about being consistent and doing the same thing over and over again with 100%, you know, correction and accurate, and hopefully making sure that you will get those targets and make them to big chunks of plays and not fear whatever the outcome may be type of situation. And one thing before we talk about the last subject, what's with CP? So we activated him. Were they scared he might get, you know, rehash that injury, or they would just want to limit him for a limited amount of snaps? I don't understand why he didn't put CP in. What, is he fully 100% healthy or not? I mean, that was just weird. If he wasn't even bothered going to play, just don't activate him. Or I don't know why, but I feel like he could have given us a better chance in helping us move the chains. And we haven't been doing that so hot lately. So now let's talk about the Falcon. So obviously, somebody got to win and somebody got to lose. Unfortunately, we got to lose this time. But congratulations to the Jacksonville Jaguars and their fan base. A good win for them. Trevor Lawrence is going to be a really great quarterback, like I stated in my preview video. You know, Doug Peterson did a really good job in coaching, you know, on the offense and the defense. You know, of course, you know, the third down conversions was worse than us. But at the end of the day, they made the biggest plays of them all to really, you know, move the chain and making sure that they secure the ball without any turnovers in this game. Unlike the Atlanta Falcons, where they turn over the ball 3 times, that really helped the Jacksonville Jaguars win this game against the Atlanta Falcons. I don't think the Atlanta Falcons are trash. I just don't think they're an excellent team or a good team at this point. I think they're just a bad team. But you know what? I still believe that we can climb this out. It just all depends if Arthur Smith wants or willing to change the play call in certain key moments of the game. Or does he want to, downgrade Dave Ragone or elevate somebody else in the Atlanta Falcons building to get some proper play calling? Now, Arthur Blank wants a winnable season because he stated many times that if he does not win, the playoff or win the division, people are going to get fired. And that's just the reality of it. I am not an Arthur Smith hater. I really wish that Arthur Smith will be a successful head coach for the Atlanta Falcons, and I do like what he's doing. But when it comes to the passing offense, he has to figure out what is wrong and figure out the reasons and change it quickly because his job is on the line. And plus, we got to figure out how we can create good separation for Drake London, Kyle Pitts, Mac Hollins, enough times to be consistent enough where they can get these easy first downs and massive yardage to gain, because that's what's going to help Desmond Ridder evolve into the quarterback. I feel like I know he can be, but until then, it's going to be hell for the Atlanta Falcons coming soon. So on that note, if you guys lasted this long to the very end of the episode, thank you so much for taking your own personal time and day to watch these Falcon content. I like making Falcon content videos for you guys. Here's more on the screen. So what do Falcons do? Rise up. Until the next episode, show love and peace to the world, and peace.